Good morning. It's President's Day in the U.S., and I decided to do a little research this morning because I was not happy with my trading last week, just to kind of reinforce um, uh, some of the things I've been doing when I've been trading well. It's a really good exercise if you haven't done that, is go back and look at your best days and try to identify what those had in common. And kind of what you intuitively know, and you know from Al, but you sometimes forget along the way, is when the 15-minute trend is up. I just color this green if it's above the 60-minute trend. If that is up, and there is also bullish open gaps coming into that morning. So this is a day I traded really well. So you had this open gap here until it was filled at, micro gap's still open, but you also had this open gap here that never got filled. And then we reversed up, so it is, and this is still a breakout and a pullback. So this is on a 15-minute, a high one. And the best days that I've had, I've gone with that trend. Another day is that I did really well is the 25th of January. So let's look at that real quick. Oh, sorry, the 19th, and then the 20th. There's 19th. So trend is down. Overnight, if I'm coming in at 5:30, are there at 5:15 there's still this bear gap. There's no open gaps, but the trend is clearly down. So when I go to the 5-minute and we get a breakout, that's the direction I need to swing. And those are the days I traded best. So I have a breakout pullback here. I got in. And even if I waited until this bar, I still could have swung lower because this gap remained open because that's the direction that the wind was blowing. And I can just go back and keep going and showing more and more of these examples. But it was days where I identified that really well. So here again is, the trend is down overnight. This gap was still open. So even though we're getting pullbacks and bullish gaps, the most we'll get is a trading range. And on the 5-minute, once we got the breakout, again, I swung lower and got my best trades. So for me, it's identifying what the larger time frame is doing and going with that. Here's another good day I had on Feb 2nd. The trend is clearly up. We have a triangle here, so we're breakout mode. But look at this. We have a series of gaps here that remained open even during the pullback. That gap right there on the 15-minute remained open, tested once at 4:30, tested again at 5:15. So this is giving me a hint that we have two 6 and 6:15, two 15-minute bars in a row. That gave me a heads up, so I could have technically gone long up here. It's two 15-minute bars in a row. I got long on the breakout, which is fine as well on the 5-minute, but having that identification of where the trend is, and the strength and the gap remaining open on the higher time frame. Even if I waited until this bar, we have a gap on the 5-minute, so we have a breakout. You can say, well, it's got a tail, that's not that great, but the next bar, the gap holds open, and that's still a fantastic trade. So I went back and I looked at when I traded best, and that was a big key to it. The other thing I noticed is when I got a lot of sleep, and not less than 7 hours. I was also able to identify that a little bit easier for me. That's just me. So some people do better on less sleep, and some people don't. But for me, that's kind of what I need. And we'll look at one more. 2.9 was another really good day for me. And this doesn't have to necessarily mean monetary days, but um, days where you're just trading well. So it could be all scalping, but just identifying things well. So 2.9, trend is down. We are having a pullback, testing where this broke out overnight. But you can see the gaps up here that remained open. And this one remained open until the pullback. But clearly on the 15-minute, you have 1, 2, 3, you have a parabolic wedge. So again, knowing that, had a couple profitable scalps going counter trend, but once we got that breakout, granted I could have traded a little bit better this day, and got in on this bar or even this bar up here, identifying what the larger time frame was. But when the wind's at your back, it's very forgiving, and when you identify the trend in the right direction, that's when it's easiest to swing. So that's just a little homework I did. Got up early this morning and did that, and just wanted to share that.